Hey, Tiffany Sly,
Yeah.
welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, let's get into it. All right, so before we get into your story, who you are, what you do, I want to start with some sort of statements. I'm going to read them to you, and I basically just want you to respond on how accurate you think they are, and maybe a few thoughts if you've got them.
Of course.
Okay, social media is too crowded. I'm better off spending my time on other aspects of my business.
You know what? Half true, half false.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of noise on social media, but we have to be on it.
Yep.
So period, you should be.
Yep.
That's it.
Okay.
But I think that there are other ways we can be a bit more interesting.
Okay.
In our marketing.
We'll get into that soon. Okay, next one.
Yeah.
I hate the idea of being too promotional. I'm an introvert and my business has done fine to this point. There's no point of changing and going on social media.
Totally true. I think that we have to kind of really, there's a fine line there, I think, when you're trying to promote yourself online.
Yep.
You don't want to be too salesy.
Okay.
So I actually come up with like a 90-10 rule. I think that Gary Vee talks about adding value is your first priority.
Yeah.
So it's more the 80% value, 20% selling. I think it should be 90% value.
Yeah, cool.
10% selling.
Yep.
So I think the biggest point in priority should be just be yourself and be authentic.
Cool.
And not try to push yourself like, hey, look at me, I sold this house, or use me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Add value to your audience.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
like that.
Yeah.
I don't have time to be on social media.
So this is why I came up with almost like a foolproof way to make it so easy that you have no excuse.
Yep.
Because really it shouldn't be taking a lot of your time. Like the point is that you should really spend maybe one day a week and make it all automated and schedule it ahead of time. So it's super easy.
Yeah,
that's
super
the whole
easy.
point. Yeah,
Once you just sort of
it should be easy and just not sitting there on the moment.
Yeah,
that's the whole point.
We'll get into some of those points you're just touching on.
Yeah.
All right, so Tiffany, you've been in real estate in one form or another for about 13 years?
Yeah, so 12 years in Canada.
Yeah. So how did you get started? How did you get into
so it's kind of a cool story. So I was in advertising marketing prior to. I went to school for that and communications, and my family's been in real estate for like my grandmother, 50 years this year, selling real estate in Toronto, Canada.
Yeah.
So 2007, I was kind of in an ad agency, kind of doing the grind and hustling and just really not being happy and fulfilled.
Yeah.
And I actually just decided to quit my job and just go into business with my grandma.
Oh, fantastic.
So I just got my real estate license in 4 months. We could do that back then in Canada.
How long does it take now?
So it's a lot longer.
Yeah.
So it's very much changed. It's over 6 months, I think. And so I just joined her in 2007 and we just kind of got off. It was great.
Awesome.
Started building a business with her and marketing and branding and rebranding the team. And I did all of our own marketing, and we've been selling together for 12 years. And then I moved to Brisbane and kind of started consulting.
Okay,
So
interesting.
kind of switched it up.
You touched on it there. What's something, maybe the one or two main takeaways that something you learnt from your grandmother, who's been, like you said, has been in the game for 50 years?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so many things. But I think the main things are just go back to basics. She's built her business on pure relationships and hard work.
Yeah.
And that really is what real estate is.
Yeah.
In order to be successful, that's what you do. You just keep being consistent, keep on top of people. You don't sit around, you don't let things go off. You're always dedicated. She's just the most dedicated agent and business person I know. She goes away and has beautiful holidays and kind of works hard, plays hard, which is the way that we should be. But when she's in it, she's just constantly churning and hustling and always making connections and always working hard.
Yeah, wow.
So that's just all it is.
So it's I think we touched on Gary Vee before we hit record as well, and you mentioned just before, but he sort of has that, micro and macro patience, micro hustle, so working really hard, but also in the long term being really patient and not expecting results overnight.
It's the long game. He's all about that, and I 100% believe in that. It's not, in agents in general, especially we talk about online marketing, social media, it's not about that quick lead and kind of all the likes you get. It's about playing the long game.
Yeah.
It's a slow burn, and it should be. You just keep putting things out there.
Yeah.
Keep doing it, and then it kind of just happens, and you keep it up. You can't stop. You got to keep doing it and get better and better.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Do you find that that's something you see a lot in terms of agents, not just agents, but any people, when it comes to social media in particular? They're sort of expecting those results, maybe not overnight, but in a week, in a month or 2 months. And they sort of just, I've gave it a shot, but it's not really doing much for me. I'm not seeing a lot of results.
Yeah.
That's enough.
I think so.
See that too often.
Yeah, I think a lot of us, we get it all First of all, we have too much pressure on ourselves to do all these big campaigns and like video all the time and start these strategies, and then you kind of fall off because it's like, first of all, it's not sustainable sometimes. Like, we're all busy. Maybe we're not doing it properly, and we're not having like really kind of formulas and structures that are simple to keep up. But then it's like, you keep doing it and you expect all these results right away, which that's not what social media is. Like, I actually don't teach that. Like, I don't expect to build a business on algorithms and all these like strategies that work and get you leads and more sales and more income.
Because usually they'll disappear, like they can change the algorithm and all of a sudden that's gone anyway.
That's not what it's about, right? It's just about building a brand and actually having a presence online, because that's your CV now. People come in and look up an agent. They look you up online first. If you don't have an online presence, like an Instagram presence or something, doesn't mean you have to have like 10,000 people on following you, but just show that you're a marketing expert, because that's what we have to be first, and then an agent second. So that's what I say.
I like it. All right, I've got a little quote here from your website. So it says, become the marketing badass you've always admired, to stand out, get noticed, and grow your business. Now, obviously someone can hire you or work with you to achieve this, but let's talk about some of you don't have to give away all your secrets, but let's talk through some of the ways people can sort of go about it themselves if they just want to get started. What sort of process or what sort of things should they be thinking about to just get started?
For sure. And I think like when you say marketing badass, it doesn't mean you have to be like a fully kind of advanced superior marketer. You don't have to be technologically advanced and have all these like tools. You just have to know who you are. And that's really the basics. Like, the very step one should be learning what you're great at and what makes you different than other agents. That's number one. And then you leverage that and think about how you can actually get out and find those people that you actually want to work with. So it's target market kind of discovery as well. And then really representing who you are and everything you do. So you love dogs, let's say.
I was going to, so this is the step one, sort of what makes you different.
What makes you different. And then it's like, I love dogs. Then you do things with your dogs in your photos. Maybe you do videos with dogs. Maybe you team with like some sort of dog events and community dog things, or there's ways that you can actually like follow that path and leverage it in your marketing.
Nice.
So you kind of get creative with it,
so
rather than doing
maybe,
the same thing.
Like, if I was a real estate, I could still do it in our current business, but I really like soccer, or we call it football here. There you go. Or I do anyway. I could be making some every now and again references. Like, obviously my whole channel, I bet if I was a real estate agent, isn't going to be about soccer. But maybe there's some references there. I can
little cheeky things that are soccer related.
Because then the people who are watching, you're more likely to resonate.
And you're more likely to be memorable, right? That's the difference.
So what's the step after that? Once you've then it's finding who you're doing it for, is it?
It's finding your target market, really understanding who you like really ideally want to work with. As agents, it's like, okay, what neighborhoods, what price points, what do they do? What are they likely going to do on the weekends? What do they like to do? Where do they go? And then you kind of try to figure out how you can reach them. Right? And then it's, creating a strategy that's not just on those events or with those people, but like all avenues, like full exposure, and make it easy and automated. So scheduling apps is all what we have to do. We shouldn't be doing it kind of on the moment. It has to be authentic and doing stories, to kind of document things that we're doing that's smart. But otherwise, it should all just be automated and scheduled.
And what sort of, if we're talking tools and stuff, can you name a few maybe websites or tools that help? Not only, let's start with the automation. So what do you use to do that sort of stuff?
So I use Buffer and later.com. So Buffer's great because it also, I think LinkedIn's a little bit tricky because not all of them are work with LinkedIn, but Buffer does work with all of them.
And what about some other tools, not necessarily scheduling, but do you use anything else, be it apps on your phone or like any sort of websites to help you in
honestly, Canva is amazing.
Canva,
like 100%, everyone needs to use that.
Australian company too. There you go.
It's so easy though. And I actually started doing it too. Is like creating templates is the smartest thing you can do because you just have it on there. You go plop a photo in. There's all sorts of stock photos, and you put a quote. Maybe you throw in a video that you did. You have a bit of a banner or like a frame. You can have templates that you just use, so it's easy. Right? And it's all on brand.
And it's, I mean, there is a paid pro version which you get some extra stuff, which we pay for. It's pretty cheap.
I did too.
But there is a free version which does a lot of good stuff as well.
Oh, it's super easy.
Canva's the best. I live in there every day. I'm in there doing something for our Foxy videos and stuff as well. So.
I think the point is like, you really don't have to go above and beyond to be a marketing badass and, seem like you're a marketing expert.
Gotcha.
That's it.
Yeah, I like it. So what platforms do you recommend? Let's talk specifics to a real estate agent. I'm a real estate agent. What platforms should I be on? Like, obviously there's the golden standard, maybe you say all of them, all the majors, but let's say I just want to be on a couple or a few. Where should they be?
Well, they all do different things, right? Like, I'm actually a massive fan of Instagram because, and I don't think Instagram should be for selling necessarily. It should be adding value and documenting and like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
So you can have fun with that, right? Like, you can actually, like, you have a listing, let's say, you can show the kind of the staging time with Foxy Staging, right? Like, you can do like the pre-launch, the actual launch, the actual, showings or open homes and kind of what's happening there and like the buzz around the house. You can actually have like a full campaign kind of idea behind the scenes. That's a great tool for that.
Yeah, nice.
And also for building your own personal brand.
Yeah.
Like, you with your family or just showcasing you as a human being, that is really important to personal brand development, right? So that's Instagram. LinkedIn, I think, is the future.
Okay.
Like, Gary Vee talks about it all the time. I think we've talked about him. It's great for sharing videos, but I think it should be where most agents are.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so video sort of content on there. If you're good at writing, I suppose articles.
100%. Yes. Yeah. Article sharing. Like, if you're a great blog writer, like, do a lot of that on there. Yeah. It's amazing.
We sort of touched on, but like if you're thinking blog content for LinkedIn, what should they be writing about? Like, LinkedIn's a hard one, right?
Yeah, but LinkedIn, I don't think you want to think about LinkedIn as like the most kind of professional corporate social media site anymore. Yeah, it's actually like everybody is on there. So it shouldn't be so stringent and strict or corporate. Yeah. So I think you can put a little bit of a personal angle on things, but I think it's like, in terms of agent, like, we should be writing about what does our target market, we know who we are, we have the target market, go back to those people, what do they find they want to learn about, what do they normally ask? Like, even when you're with clients, it's like, you may have topics and questions that they constantly ask you, write about it.
And then you can also probably go narrow as well if you are trying to target just a specific set of postcodes or suburbs areas. Yeah. You can write about those areas, like what's coming up on the weekends, what's happening around the area, and trying to become known as that sort of local expert.
Exactly.
You don't have to be like the most well-known real estate expert and always be writing about the trends and what you think is happening in real estate. Obviously, it's good to touch on that sort of stuff too, but there's some other sort of content ideas.
Totally. You have so much at your disposal. Like, you can come up with so many things, and I actually work with my clients to actually create strategies around pillars in their content. Okay. So it should be kind of personal stuff. There should be educational value stuff in there. A lot of it should be, because you're building like credibility as an agent. And then you should also have like lifestyle stuff and then neighborhood things, So just touch on those and go through that as like a rotation through your content throughout the week.
So there's plenty of stuff to be talking about and writing about. Facebook, what about Facebook?
Yeah, you know what? I think Facebook's great. I think the issue is when you're trying to put out a piece, let's say you have a business page, you may not have a massive following, so you're not going to really have people like looking at it, no exposure, right? So, but if you do, and I would say Facebook ads, try to get people to your page and actually show value on your page that's not going to be found elsewhere. Okay. Because I think a lot of people are like tired of seeing people posting and, liking pages and getting tons of articles all the time, but it has to be really kind of worth their time and valuable and interesting. So Facebook Lives are always fun. So you could do like a live right before an open or before an auction or at an auction. Obviously, that's amazing. Things like that. So it's kind of, Instagram's more behind the scenes, like raw stuff, more personal. Facebook can be a little bit less personal, still behind the scenes, but you can still have business and kind of personal mixed. And then LinkedIn's a bit more on the business side, but still personal. So
any other emerging platforms that you think people should look at or just concentrate on those three for now?
I think, I personally don't feel like you need to kind of add any more. Like, just do those well. There's plenty of opportunity there. And you sort of touch on there, ads. Do you think people should be sort of running ads on these platforms as well? I think that they're really worth, why not? Because really the people that are following you right now are going to be the people that know about you. So you want to attack the people that don't know about you too. So how do you get those people? You need to expand your network and actually advertise to those dormant clients, they call it, right? People that don't know who you are. I think we touched on all that. One point here is sort of
How often do you think people, I know you probably get that question a lot or see people online ask that question, how often should people be posting to these platforms?
I really think once a day minimum.
Yeah.
Like, if you were to do something that's scheduled once a day, twice a day, great, like kind of morning and night or something, and then maybe something that you post on the fly or a story once a day is a great start.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once a day, cool.
Yeah.
And every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Consistently.
Consistent.
Keep going.
Consistency is key, and kind of mix it up, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. In one of your videos on your website, talk about building a business that reflects you, sort of to suit your lifestyle. Can you touch on that a little bit further?
Yeah, of course. So I think along my career, I realized just how many agents were very, very traditional in the way that they came about and that they even dress and present themselves and, all the training they had, how they go about their marketing. And they kind of put themselves in a box. When I think that the modern agent, and it's 2019, we should be who we are personally rather than what we should be.
Yeah.
So I think it's all about that and discovering that, and just even if you don't wear a suit in your business, doesn't mean you're not professional and an expert. You can still present yourself with a bit of personality and be human at it.
I think that's really good news because I don't know, I'm definitely not like that. Wearing jeans for me is a step up,
exactly,
to a
right?
podcast. But if I'm someone who likes to dress down a little bit, obviously you still want to look nice and clean and presentable, but you don't have to always come across as the expert and beautiful suit and expensive suit and car and stuff. It's like, tell your true story. And I think people will be like, I prefer that.
I think that just people relate to you and they, know, like and trust you is like huge, KLT factor, we call it. That's really what people need in order to kind of feel comfortable and want to work with you.
Yeah.
So they work with you because they know you and they relate with you and they like you and trust you, right? So if you can bring that out in your business more, then that will get and resonate better with your audience, right?
Yeah,
so I think like being just, again, finding who you are and finding your point of difference and not hiding behind it.
Yep.
Being really calm and authentic in your business, and as a real estate agent, that's where you get the longevity and like the long-term success.
It's easier, isn't it? You don't have to pretend
you're
to be
calm.
someone else.
Exactly. Like that's what I'm saying on my website is like you find your flow and you become you, and you're kind of more confident and you're more inspired because you're just being yourself.
Yeah, and
that's
so
what it should be.
What does that mean for you in your business?
Yeah, like I think for me, it's like I have fun with it. Like we have the odd joke, and sense of humor is always a big part of my business. And I think just being human, making people laugh has been a huge part of like why people I think enjoy working with me, and it's fun, right? And like you actually like meet them on a personal level. It's not just all business all the time.
Yeah. And you have your dog, Rocky and
Riley.
Riley just floating around here, which is cool.
Exactly.
Why not?
My dogs are always around. So.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, fantastic.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So when you started in Toronto, was it 2007?
Yeah.
Yep. You said you found it difficult to stand out. I think I saw that on your website.
Yeah.
So what sort of mistakes did you think you were making in 2007?
Yeah, I think it's funny because like that year, me and 4 of my friends from uni actually went into the business at the same time.
Oh, really?
So it was like within our sphere of influence, there was like 5 of us. Like that's tough. It's like, how do we make a mark, right? We all went in little different directions, but I think like, back then, I think it was a little bit more rare, at least in North America, to really be that young in real estate. Like we generally have it as like a 4th career later in life. And maybe you did it part-time or something. But there was a lot more younger people in the business. So I think like we just kind of all went about it similar ways, but kind of in different maybe companies.
Sure, yeah.
In different markets. Okay. But we all went it in we wore the suit. We thought we had to do the opens and, make it more of like a strict business and more corporate, doing all the training and like the sales, like, how do we prospect? How many calls do we make? Blah, blah, blah. How many cards do we hand out? But really, like, I realized that was like not really kind of making me happy and fulfilling me. And then when I found out that I could really find myself in my business and kind of make it more personal, that really changed everything for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So just being more myself.
Yeah. Okay. And do you find, is that a hard thing to teach someone or coach someone through to be themselves in business and online? And when, I don't know, is there any pointers to like, what do you tell people? How do you get people to do that? It seems a difficult thing to do.
I think for a lot of us, like we actually, it's helpful to talk to someone that's totally outside their sphere. So when they tell me, like we go through exercises together, like what are you good at? What do you love doing? What do you hate doing?
Yep.
So stop doing the things you hate. Like, don't go door knocking if you hate it and it's excruciatingly painful for you. Don't do that, right? Do it in different ways. So, we go through all these exercises, figure out kind of what you really enjoy doing, what you're good at, what are your strengths, and then really try to capitalize on them. Find out ways to prospect with using those skills, right? If you're really good at writing, like a lot of people they love writing blogs. So there's a great tool to build credibility.
Yep.
And then you can use it on social, and then you're building like a name for yourself, right? You're educating, adding value. And if you want, you can add video to that and maybe kind of just grow it over time. But some people, they through the exercises, they kind of just realize, wait a second, why am I phoning people, cold calling, door knocking, and I ask them, are you good at it? Do you love it? No, I hate it. Why don't you do it? Because I hate it. So let's switch things up. Like, why are you doing that? So I think it just comes out in the conversations, like when someone from the outside is hearing what's working for you, what's not, then we discover, okay, what should we be switching up?
Yeah.
Let's think about ideas on how to do things differently.
Yeah, cool.
Maybe what other agents aren't doing.
Yeah.
Let's think of that.
So someone's listening to this and they think, geez, I've always wanted to get started. I always say I want to get started, but I haven't yet. What would you say to that person that today maybe they could would you encourage them to where would you encourage them to start today? Like, obviously you've got your process that you take people through, but if someone to literally stop their car or whatever they're doing at work, pull over and quickly do something online on social media, what would you say would be a good place to start?
I think, it depends on what you're doing.
Yeah, of course.
And I think, honestly, if you're having a rough day, maybe you're just made 10 calls and got 0 people to answer or something, document it, talk about it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Say, it's really tough. This is, I'm starting in the business, trying to get my mark. This is the neighborhoods I'm working in. You can kind of add to it, right? But, I'm having a bit of a tough day. I've decided to go out, have a coffee, and, just documenting your life and actually, being open and honest about your losses and your wins.
Yeah, that's a good
It's huge.
Yeah.
Why not?
Everyone loses. Everyone has tough times and days.
I think it's about being human, right?
Yeah.
Not just pretending and putting up this front that I'm, so successful and doing all these things all the time.
Yeah, cool.
We're not all so successful, right?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Everyone can relate to that.
Well, fantastic. Tiffany, I haven't actually really, I'm sure I'll do an intro, but I haven't really mentioned your business. So it's The Art of Modern Real Estate.
Yeah.
And so you are a real estate agent.
I am.
And a marketing and brand strategist. So if someone wanted to reach out to you to get in touch, maybe to work or just to have a chat or something, where would be the best place for them?
Yeah, so my website is artofmodernrealestate.com.
Yep.
And
great website, by the way.
Thank you. That is also my handle for all my socials too.
Cool.
So Art of Modern Real Estate.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Tiffany, thanks so much for taking time to talk to me today.
Oh, it's been fun. Thanks.